Hi guys, it's Jeffrey and welcome to a new Boy Reads World video. Today I thought I'd share some of my favorite LGBT books with you, because I've seen some booktubers do it over the last couple of weeks, because it's Pride Month in America and Great Britain, and although the Pride Parade was at the end of May here in Brussels, I thought I'd do it anyway, because, you know, everybody needs some good gay literature in their life, no? The main reason I decided to do this video was the video that Aciman over at Savage Reads did about the 8 LGBT books that he wants to read this summer, which reminded me of Call Me By Your Name by André Aciman. This is actually a Dutch copy, but I really enjoyed this cover because it reflects the way that one of the main protagonists is just laying by the pool the whole summer. Anyway, this is a book about Elio. He is a 17-year-old Italian boy, and his father is a professor at an Italian university, I think, and every year he invites a scholar to come to their house and just enjoy the Italian culture and work on their thesis, work on some papers, you know, it varies. And in the summer that this book takes place, it's just 6 weeks. The American scholar that comes to visit them is Oliver, and Elio just falls head over heels in love with Oliver because, you know, he discovers his own sexuality. Oliver is just laying by the pool in his all-American greatness, and Elio just can't look away. First they both pretend that they're indifferent to each other, but then there's this slowly evolving attraction to one another, some kind of heart-wrenchingly yearning. I read this in one go on a beach in Barcelona, and although that was like the ideal location to read this, because, you know, it takes place on the Italian Riviera, Oliver is constantly sunbathing by the pool, you know, the cover. It was the right location, but just, I don't know, Aciman just has a way of describing longing, about yearning after one another so beautifully, so achingly, that I left that beach a completely different person, but also, you know, I definitely needed a sangria after this one. The second book that I really enjoyed a couple of years ago, and which is the complete opposite of The Innocence of Elio and Call Me By Your Name, was Alan Hollinghurst, The Swimming Pool Library. Again, this is a Dutch copy, but not one that I specifically chose because, you know, it's fugly. For those of you who've heard about Alan Hollinghurst but can't really place him, he's the one that wrote The Line of Beauty, which won the Man Booker Prize some 10 odd years ago. This is about a guy named Will who is filthy rich, who is so beautiful, who just gets everything he wants, and one day in a public toilet he encounters an old guy who faints at that moment, and he revives him and they strike up a friendship, and it turns out that that old guy is some kind of lord who is already in his 80s. This book was written in 1988, it takes place in 1983 or 1984, just at the beginning of the AIDS epidemic, and Hollinghurst had his doubts of releasing it, because when he started writing it, he started losing some of his friends to AIDS, and this is a book about such debauchery, about, you know, just fucking around, just about doing everything that your heart desires, because Will, just by one look, you know, trousers drop. So, and it's about how that old guy wants Will to write his biography, because both of their lives have been very different. Lord Nantwit was born in the early 1900s, while Will is like 23 in the 80s, and Will has had that good fortune of, you know, living a modestly free life as a homosexual, while Lord Nantwit just, you know, was born right at after the law had been passed in England to make homosexuality a crime. And Hollinghurst really plays with that difference between those two different ways of living your life as a homosexual in 20th century Great Britain. And I really enjoyed the writing style of this. Hollinghurst writes so poetically, so beautifully. This is just a very fascinating portrait of being gay in the 20th century in Great Britain, so, you know, a very interesting read. Then my third book is again very different. This is a young adult novel, and this is More Happy Than Not. I've already discussed this book in my favorite books of 2015 video, which I'll link down below. This is by Adam Silvera, about a young guy living in a modern society, but with a small difference that there's something called the Theo Institute, which can alter your personality and remove your memory so that you can become a totally different person. And the main character, Aaron, in this book wants to change his life because he's gay, and he doesn't want to be gay because being gay is just too difficult and just brings a lot of problems for him that he just doesn't want to face. And that this institute exists, he thinks it's the most easy way to just being straight and having no problems, but as we all know, that's not the way to do it. This is a very interesting book about accepting your sexuality and accepting who you are, and even though that's far more difficult for some people than other people due to the circumstances that you grow up in, I recommend this to everybody. Just, even if you're not gay, I think the way about not feeling accepted in your society or by the people that you love will always resonate on some level. So, definitely read this one. And my fourth and final book, because I didn't want this video to drag on, is What Belongs to You by Garth Greenwell. This is a book that I read only recently. It was Greenwell's debut this year. And this is about an American professor who lives in Sofia, and also, like Will in the swimming pool library, visits the odd public toilet to release some tension. And there he meets a Bulgarian hustler called Mitko. The professor just gets fairly addicted quite quickly to Mitko, because he just, I don't know, this, like I said in my previous video, this is about some kind of lust affair, because he knows that Mitko isn't the most healthy person to hang around with, because he drops in at the middle of the night to ask for money. He takes him to quite dangerous places. He gets a couple of diseases by sleeping with him, but he just can't seem to quit him. And although on a logical level you're reading this and you're saying, just drop the guy, on another level you just know how it is to be completely besotted by someone. So this is also a relatable book in that way. Not that everybody has the experience of being besotted by a Bulgarian hustler, but I really enjoyed this book because Greenwell just knows how to phrase, just knows how to describe the feeling of being so enamored by somebody that even though you know that it's not healthy, you just can't seem to quit it. And also, I've never been to Bulgaria, but the way that Greenwell describes some of the cities in Bulgaria just are so beautiful, and I just wanted to book a one-way ticket to Sofia, which I didn't, thank God. So those were the 4 LGBT books that I wanted to recommend. And now that I think about it, they were only about gay people, so I should definitely recommend My Horizons. So if you have any recommendations about the other LGBT characters in books that I should definitely read, please leave a comment down below. Or if you have read any of these 4 books that I just talked about, please share what you thought about them below, and I'll see you next time. So, bye!